Welcome to Healing Wisdom, a Thursday morning talk show featuring guests sharing their stories and knowledge. We discuss the healing aspects of the arts, metaphysics, social justice, and adventure through all types of terrain. So join me, Pandora Peoples, here on WOMR 92.1 FM in Provincetown and WFMR 91.3 FM in Orleans. We're streaming worldwide at WOMR.org. Our theme music is provided by Mason. You can find her website at masonmusic.com. That's MAESYN. Hello, Cape Cod and beyond. I am very pleased to be here with actresses Ella Cannon and Jenna Rosenow. Thank you for being with us, talking about Ella, your new Netflix film, and it is Trees of Peace. And I'm interested in hearing all about it. And then also we're talking about the 10 ticket, which you are bringing to the screen, and you're producing it. And you're also coming to speak on the 23rd at the Cape Cod Museum of Art. And you're going to be speaking with Mindy Todd extensively. And also author Deborah Swiss will be there. So can you talk a little bit about the 10 ticket for those who don't know the story of the Australian convict girls?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, a lot of people know that Australia was a convict colony, but a lot of people never really considered women's place in that.
Yeah, so, even us, I feel like we were never taught this story at school growing up. We always heard about the male convict story. We heard about the males that were involved, but we'd never stopped to consider the women.
And so when, we read The Tin Ticket, it is a novel that follows the journey of some of these women that obviously were arrested for petty thievery, which was necessary to survive back in 1800s, Great Britain, and they were transported to Australia. And it is their story of endurance and triumph and
ultimate survival.
It's a really incredible one. And if you haven't read it, read it. It's gold. Deborah is an incredible author. She's a beautiful writer, and we are so lucky to be in her orbit.
Yeah, I think it's very cleverly written. Not only is it beautifully written, but it's so engrossing, and she really brings everyone's personal stories or emotional stories to life. And it makes me think about every person who's ever been in servitude and how almost like it's been romanticized, the sort of like class wars, the upstairs, downstairs kind of thing. And it's very tragic. And these girls were put through so much before they were really women. And being made to pay for like soap and under things, so just basic necessities, they would be taken out of their meager salary. Oh my gosh. So
she did something really special too, because, she took them from just being a kind of number and a statistic in a report, and she humanized them, and, she brought their story into the light. And I think that's why we're so excited to be a part of, furthering that. It's what a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Yes, very empowering. Can you talk a little bit more about what made you want to bring it to screen? What made you want to jump from in front of the camera to behind the camera?
Yeah, I think a lot of actors have ambitions to branch out into other areas of the industry. I know it's something that I have thought about a lot and for a long time, as has Ella. So it was a matter of when rather than if. And this just feels like the perfect flagship project for us, because it just hit us so hard when we read it.
Yeah, I think, we've been really lucky as actors with the work that we've been able to do. And, it's true that the industry is forever growing and changing. And, we're starting to see some really incredible female-led empowering stories come to the surface. But we wanted to be a part of that change that is happening. And, we also we spent so much time wanting to be in those stories about female empowerment, and we realized that the only thing more important to us than being in them was making sure they got told.
Yeah.
And so when we found the Tin Ticket, it was like, this is it. This has to be told. It has to be heard. And it just lit a fire in us.
Yeah,
and there was no going back. We were just hell-bent on making this happen. So.
Yeah, and everyone that we've spoken to about this book and about the story, a lot of Australians too had no idea. Had no idea about this story.
Had no idea about this, which is so crazy.
It's insane that a whole section of history people don't know about. So it needs to be told.
That is so excellent. And your production company, Midnight Madhouse,
Midnight Madhouse Productions, our baby. We laboured long and hard.
Yeah, it was a 3-month labour. It was quite intense.
Very cool. So I would love to know about how you see the 10 ticket being connected to Trees of Peace, which is coming out on Friday, right?
It is coming out on Friday, and it's so exciting because we filmed just before the pandemic, so it's been a long wait. But I think the experience with Trees of Peace, which, you know, for people that don't know, is a film about 4 women that are trapped for 3 months during the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. And it is a story about women coming together through hardship, essentially. You know, we see a lot of films about war and battle, but not a lot about the complex struggles of the women and the children and the lasting trauma that they face. So it is very much a story about that. And I think that really lit a light bulb in me of just the experience of doing that with those women. Just made me go, oh my God, if only we just came together like this all the time, because we could achieve so much. And I knew that I just had to keep telling stories like this because I found my place, you know. And so upon reading the Tin Ticket, again, I think it ties into it very much. And these aren't stories that happened. These are stories that continue to happen. History repeats itself.
Yeah, unfortunately, injustices are still still happening to women all over the world. Like, look at what's happening in Ukraine, in Afghanistan, in Africa. You know, women are still suffering. I think these stories are always timely. They always need to be told. Conversation always needs to be furthered and created.
Yeah, so we're doing our bit to try and lend a voice, particularly to women in history that didn't get to have one. You know, they were kind of left in the footnotes and kind of erased from their own story. So Deborah's already started that campaign, and she's done an incredible job, and we're just trying to further it ourselves.
Yeah.
Very excellent. Very excellent. I know it's so strange how many people's stories haven't been told. And it's really like a time of, I think, reckoning. And there's I keep talking about it, but there's a paradigm shift that's happened in so many different ways. And Me Too is one of them. And women not being afraid, not being forced into silence, and not being in any kind of emotional or any other type of servitude.
I think on like a greater scale too, you know, Trees of Peace, for example, was a small indie film, and it just kept finding life by winning awards, and it ended up with Netflix. Now it's going global and the whole thing. And it's because people are craving stories about connection and hope, because we're in such a divisive place as a world right now that it's so relieving to look at the people that can accomplish more by coming together. And I think we need those reminders, whether it's women or men. And of course, this is female focused, which is very important, but also there's just such a basis in humanity that is equally as important.
Yes. Highlighting the true stories. And then I think that really actually does lead to action. Like, I really think it's important for us to have role models. So thank you for bringing this story to life. So can you talk a little bit about how this series is developing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of work. It's been something we've been working on for a little while.
A lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights,
a lot of Googling if it's possible for your brain to actually melt. So it's been an interesting process, but one that we've thoroughly enjoyed doing. You know, we've gone over the book so many times and just broken it down and put it into a layout that we think best does justice to the work that Deborah has done. And we've been so lucky that
she's been an incredible resource.
Yeah, we've had her, any questions we've had, we've just messaged her and she's gotten straight back
on
to
it.
It's been quite incredible to have her as a resource and as a friend and helping us along with this journey.
We feel very lucky. But yeah, it's been a lot of research, getting to know the story inside out, the history behind it. And then, you know, again, like Jenna said, breaking it down into a series format. So there is a through line, and finalizing basically our pitch documents. You know, we call it a Bible. And, you know, our focus is now going to be on just taking meetings and attaching an incredible team that's as excited about telling the story as we are.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I just keep thinking about how amazing it is for more people to be finding out about the story, especially Australians, but everyone, but for them to be able to claim this as their heritage and like collectively be like, wow, these people and these women went through all this and they're so strong, and like that everyone rose out of this.
Yeah, I mean, it was happening in the US before the American Revolution too. You know, there's a lot of history behind this that connects us all, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, slavery, but also, yeah, servitude. Many people came over on boats from England in servitude. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a metaphor for all kinds of domination that happens in society and caste systems and things that keep us feeling disconnected and not being cohesive community of loving, supportive, compassionate beings.
Yeah, so we all just love each other.
So thank you so much, Alec Cannon and Jenna Rosenow, for joining us today. And folks can check out your event at the Cape Cod Museum of Art this 23rd of June.
23rd of June. Tickets are available on their website.
Yeah, come and see us. Come say hello.
CC Cape Cod Museum of Art, CCOMA.org.
CCMOA.org. And you can also buy Deborah's book at the gift shop.
That's an amazing read. Really fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks, Deborah.
Hello, hello, Cape Cod and beyond. I'm very pleased to be with you. My very special guest is musician Josiah Longo, and he is from the Slambovian Circus of Dreams. And I love the new album, and I love the music, and I am curious to find out some stuff about it. So welcome, Josiah. Thank you so much for being with us. You're going to be in Plymouth. You're going to be at the Spire, and that is Friday. So if anybody doesn't have anything to do yet, this is the perfect thing to be doing. And if they need to drop other plans, then they're just going to have to do that too. So thank you for being with us today.
Well, you're very welcome. Yeah, this Friday at the Spire should be fun. It's our UK band, so that band is really, really fun for us. We're semi-new to each other. We've only been together for about a year or so, off and on, since our last UK tour, and so we're gearing up to do some big festivals in England. Fairport Conventions Festival is about 25,000, and a Wickham Festival the week before. So these gigs that we'll be playing will be the same stuff that we'll be playing at the festival. So starting with the Spire, we're practicing for the big UK tour. So we're really happy to be coming down there to such a magic place, So
tell us about your new album. What inspired it? There's this amazing magician. Is this you?
Yeah, it's me. It's
all of these arms with this hat, and it's in the lotus position, this figure. So tell us about the album. Yeah. It is a very unusual head.
That album cover is actually designed by the youngest of our twin sons. And, that's his impression of me. He did that album cover. And I was very moved by that. The twins are both graphic designers and animators, like in the Brooklyn area. Now, recently, this younger son moved to the Kingston area where we are, right around Woodstock and all. So he did that cover. I was very moved by it. He just felt it really represented me, which is, I wasn't sure I wanted a picture of me on the album cover, but he thought it was a good idea, so we did it. So, and it's gotten good responses. It's a cool picture. He did a good job, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's a great picture. And that's so nice. That's so nice that this is your child's impression of you.
Yeah, I was very moved. Yes. This album, I mean, we weren't sure what this album was going to be. We knew what we were reaching for. We were trying to deal with a lot of, science and religion and all the topics, in a very spherical way, and not be afraid to be pseudoscience and pseudo-religious and pseudo, because so much has got to do with mythology. And I think we're writing new mythologies that take us into this new era. We hit a lot of bumps in the road, crazy bumps, bigger bumps than we've hit in the past, I think, And so, a lot of this album is trying to, in our own heads, hit the reset button and step back from the painting a little bit, and projects new stuff. And that's what a lot of the topics are about. It deals with science and religion and a bunch of things like that. So, and the responses have been cool. I mean, we just came from lunch before I went out to fix my gazebo, to put the screens back into it. We came back from lunch from the guy, an old friend of mine who was Dylan's drummer during the Rolling Thunder tour. So he invited us to lunch, so we just went out and hung out with him, and he's absolutely flipped about the album, which for me is great. My older cynical musicians that have toured with people like Dylan and Van Morrison, the bigger cats from the 60s, they're flipping over this album. They think it's the best album that we've done. And we're like, wow. You know, we weren't trying that hard, if you catch what I mean, on this album. We were a little bit just, let's do something that people can be inspired about. But it's been getting great response, so we're really cool. You know, we just heard from an old friend of mine, an actress. Her name's Julie Christie. It's from the 60s. A lot of the 60s people are coming out of the woodwork, and they heard the album, and they're writing these emails to us about the album. We're like, this is crazy. It's people we haven't seen since the early 70s, you know, flipping over it. So who knows what's going on? Something.
We're going to hear Bees off a very unusual head from Slambovian Circus of Dreams.
To my yard, I stopped cutting the grass, you know. I stopped being so hard. Stopped trying to control the world. Learned to steer myself. And now the bees and butterflies became a source of wealth. They're making honey butter now. They ship it across the they're raking in a lot of dough and they share it all with me. I know where the bees have gone. Where all the birds and bees have gone. I know where the bees have gone. Where all the birds and bees have gone. I know why the birds all sing. I understand each song. The birds and bees are telling me we got the whole thing wrong. Reteaching me the facts of life, and as I get it right, my lovely wife is courting me most every day and night. Making honey butter now, enough to feed us all. They dose it with enlightenment for creatures great and small. I know where the bees have gone. Where all the birds and bees have gone. I know where the bees
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's cosmic. I feel like, I've listened to some of the songs like 4 or 5 times, that maybe one of them 6. I feel like I can't quite decode it.
Yeah. It's a bit it's obtuse, you know.
The style is glorious, very psychedelic. And to me, I hear Bowie in there too.
Yes.
Very playful, just really playful. And for me, it's kind of addictive, the Look Around and the Bees. Yes. Let's hear Look Around.
The way was never found. The things filled up the day. The way went underground. 'Cause there was so much noise, you couldn't hear a sound. Look around, look around, look around, round, round. Look around, look around, look around. Misinformed about the style of suit. They said that all the clouds would be beneath the boots. So when it came to town, they thought it was a hoot. They turned around, turned around, turned around, round, round. They turned around, turned around, they turned around. I'm dreaming of a day, I'm dreaming of a time, 'cause there's this better world, keeps screwing with my mind. I tried to shake it loose, it causes so much pain. The thought that it might come if we just try again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Trying to shake it loose, it causes so much pain. The thought that it might come if we just try again. Things prepare the way was never found. We built a flying ship that got stuck on the ground. Let's start it up again. Who knows what might be found? We'll look around, look around, look around, round, round. We'll look around, look around, look around. We'll look around, yeah. Look around, look around, look around.
So I have a lot of question marks around Salvador Dali and the Force of Nature, which is also Stephen Hawking's Lament. Can you talk about your inspiration for some of these songs? I mean, we talked a little bit, about sort of this time as being a paradigm shift. Yes. And obviously, like what we've been doing with the earth isn't working, and humanity is in a crisis. And not only the perpetual war, but just like our relationship with violence, and definitely highlighted in American culture. My son's like, it's not video games. I'm like, how would we know? And he's like, because video games are everywhere, and it's not movies. And I'm like, how do we know? Because they're really misogynistic and there's lots of violence and it's all the TV is all messed up. And he's like, yeah, but it's other places too. And we don't have this problem. I'm like, like, so anyway, little perspective from my teenage son.
Yes.
But kids his age identify with socialism and like want a lot more from their government in terms of support. And, they just see the world in a different way. I think a lot of them do. And there is just a very different group of people alive on the planet who are really motivated to make a change and make a difference. So it's
Yes.
an exciting time in that way where it's just like, we're all on the edge of our seat, I think, in a way. So do you want to talk a little bit about the content of your magic?
Yeah. I mean, the Dolly song, the Salvador, the Dolly song is about, I found Dolly when I was a kid. I was sent to art school. I was in Philadelphia. I was like a kind of an at-risk kid who had some kind of artistic talent. And they sent me to this place, the Parthenon, the Philadelphia Museum of Art, to study sculpting and painting. And I discovered Dolly there. And, this album talks about Dolly people, and Stephen Hawking, people who are thinking, outside of the box, beyond the box. And I think the way that we need to change the world, we're trying, sometimes we try to attack existing systems and change them. But Buckminster Fuller used to say, it's important, create a new paradigm, create something new that we can go and be part of the new and let, like the egg shell fall to the ground, and be a bird that can rise up and fly new. And so I think it's very important for us always to renew ourselves, that kind of like, even sometimes in spirituality, they talk about born again, even the Christians talk about that. It's like, I think we got to realize at every moment we can do something new and learn, keep the best of the past, but try a step of something new, a new way of relating. And I think the kids today, even, they're not so hocus pocusy as we were, but the reason they're not, they don't want hocus pocus that doesn't work. I think they'll use some hocus pocus if it's really pragmatic and works. And I think we got to do the same thing. Some people say we stand with science. Yeah, but we should stand with science that really is objectively investigating what's going on. A lot of times science becomes as dogmatic as fundamentalism of, so I think it's a time, and the album's very much about that. It's about, consider this, consider the possibilities, and let's take a step forward and let's find new ways to work with each other. Because I think we're on the verge of new ways. It's very easy to see the ways that don't work. More easy than it's ever been. There's a lot of stupid stuff going on right now. Yeah, and what does it mean? I mean, there's a lot of dark things happening, but I think we will run out of the desire for that stupidity to continue. To me, evil and stupidity, when we realize it's synonymous, then evil will end. No one wants to be, we can make mistakes, but no one wants to be an idiot 2 or 3 times in a row. And if evil is thought of as, just kind of creepy, stupid, not cool, then it will eliminate it from the equation, I think.
The Slambovian Circus of Dreams will be at the Spire this Friday night, June 10th. Check them out, spirecenter.org.
So that anybody that comes, the music is like, it's kind of like a review of the 60s, but it's music. It'll be very familiar, but you've never heard it before. We're just tapping that well of the 60s, early 70s stuff. We're very Floydian in some ways, people say, so it's kind of we enjoy the band, and we've been doing it. Like I said, it's been the day job to raise our family. Tank and I have been doing it many, many years now, and it keeps wanting to do more, so we're riding it.
You've been listening to Healing Wisdom at Outermost Radio. All of our shows are podcasts at WOMR.org. Also check out healingwisdomradioshow.com and contact me at pandora@WOMR.org.